I personally have been struggling with my life. Maybe it's a midlife crisis, maybe it's just boredom. For what it's worth, I feel just underwhelmed with the way that my life has been proceeding. When I was 25, I thought if I could make $3,500 a month passively, I could live a good life. When I hit that number, I raised it to $10,000 a month. I've long exceeded that, and now I've reset it again, aiming for $100,000 a month. See the trend? One thing's for sure, I'm not happy with what I'm doing. I feel like I'm a slave to my companies, and I have this idea that I'm not achieving at a high enough level. I'm nowhere close to competing or being mentioned with the likes of Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos, and in some sort of grandiose way, that's what I've been chasing. I guess in today's video, I'm just going to vent a bit and explain how I got to hit multi-millionaire status and feel worse than ever. On this channel, I'll discuss living globally along with business hacks in real estate and healthcare, showing you a path so you can do the same. I want you guys to go out there and live your dreams. If this is the kind of content you want more of, make sure that you like, subscribe, and turn your notification bell on so you don't miss a thing. My name is Carl Pierre, and this is ENTP Life. I'm convinced that I feel this way because I'm comparing myself to the most successful people in the world. I can't help it, but in reality, I need to compare myself today against who I wanted to be when I was 18. I grew up in a pretty interesting environment, Jamaica, Queens, New York, which is, I would say, a mostly working class, middle class, Black neighborhood. And the things that I wanted when I was 18 years old was to be able to afford a comfortable lifestyle for myself. I wanted a Porsche, and I wanted to do exciting things with my life, like travel the world, meet interesting people, and of course, have some sort of recognizable status in the world. And I was walking through Rio de Janeiro and I was kind of bummed out, just thinking about all of the work that I had accumulating while I was actually putting together a passion project. I was filming like a documentary style video showing the beauty of Rio de Janeiro, but I couldn't stop getting emails, a list of problems that I knew were pending for me. And I was like, man, this really can't be the life that I'm living, that I can't find joy even in doing something that I'm having fun doing. And then I started to think back to my 18-year-old self and thought, if I were to have a conversation with that kid and tell him, here at 39 years old, I'm filming a pilot episode to try to land on network television, that I'm a private pilot, that I have multiple companies, that I've built a multi-million-dollar real estate portfolio, that kid would be totally impressed with me. And I'm like, how do I feel this way that I'm just not happy with what I'm doing? And then I realized that it's all of the work that I'm doing that has me bummed out. In running your own companies, you have to still have a job, right? There's no way around that, at least from the way that I've organized my companies. And I always talk about organizing your companies in a way that they're independent of you. But as I'm still trying to grow and expand some of my legacy companies and even my new companies, there's still a lot of dependence on me for my ideas, my input. Maybe there's certain financial controls that I still need to sign off on things. And I always get these inquiries that take me away from the things that I enjoy doing in my companies and turn me kind of into an employee of my company. So it's those sort of things that make me kind of feel down, because I've never really liked working a 9-to-5 job because I don't like to have limitations. I don't like to have a fixed schedule. But in order to have some sort of stability in my companies, I need to adhere to the status quo of the corporate world. And that's really what's bumming me out. Now that I've been thinking about my life from a point of view of what do I want to do with the rest of it, I've been thinking about things that I really care about and what makes me happy regardless of the status or public opinion. What could I do every single day that I wouldn't get bored or dissatisfied with? When I got to thinking about the sort of work that I like and the sort of things that I want to do more of, it really boils down to a few different things. That's traveling, really seeing the world and meeting people, learning new ideas, trying new foods, making new friends. That's something that I get a real high out of. Even going to a new place where I'm unfamiliar with everything, the language, the customs, the religions, the gods, that sort of thing. I like to be in that soup where I'm forced to learn and forced to adjust and even confront things about myself or other people that I may have not even thought about randomly. So that's one of the things that I feel that I need to spend more time doing. Along with that is just creating in general. I love content creation where I'm able to take my ideas and put them in a format that people can consume and enjoy. And I'd like to tell stories, whether it's through film or through music or even through other sort of creative expressions. And I do like taking on really cool real estate projects. And that could be anything from redoing a house that has a unique structure to building a art installation in a city. Those things are where I get my kicks out of. I've been flipping and investing in real estate since 2006, and the standard rehab and remodeling of a house is still kind of entertaining to me because I get to maybe try different materials, and as the trends change, I get to explore those new trends and design into the properties that I'm doing. But I get the most satisfaction out of going into something that's completely new, whether it's in a new country, like the projects that I'm doing in Italy, or that I'm doing in Brazil, or even working with new materials or different settings. Right now, I'm looking at doing a hotel deal where I'm buying like a small motel near a beach and re-outfitting that to be a self-directed Airbnb. If all goes well, you'll see that here on the channel. But those are the type of projects that I get excited about. More so than I am excited about building large corporate companies. That used to seem cool to me in the past, but I often see that those founder entrepreneurs or founder corporate magnates, so to speak, are still working in the day-to-day of their company 30 years after they founded it. And I don't think I have the passion for the type of companies that I've been working in to stick through the 30-year haul to compete at the level of the Bezos or the Bill Gates. I'm just not that guy. My interest changes, as quick as a baby's diaper, so to speak. So I can't be in the same company setting for that long unless that company evolved significantly all the time. And that just doesn't happen. The larger the organization gets, the harder it is to maneuver and try new things. It's almost like if I were to create a large enough entity where all I could do is create future startups within that same company, I would have fun doing that. But I wouldn't want to be the chief executive forever because that role gets kind of boring to me, especially since the best CEOs are very rigid in how they approach work. And I'm very fluid in how I approach it. So to be stuck to the same routines and meet the expectations of all the shareholders and not be the kind of spontaneous, reckless guy that I can be will be very difficult for me. Another thing that I discovered that I love doing in having this channel is actually consulting and working with entrepreneurs. People who are either just getting into their business or are looking to go from like early stage startup to mid-stage sort of business to even enterprise level. At each of those levels I can function. I have employed thousands of people and currently employ hundreds. And I know what it takes to go from being a 2 or 3 man startup to being a enterprise level company. So I'd like to be able to work with people who are kind of going through that or even just thinking about getting started. I find that to be very interesting because I've gone through it and I know how to help them problem solve or even get through certain stages of their company faster, a little wiser, and with greater efficiency. And I wouldn't have known that that's something that I really enjoyed until I started this channel. So again, I have to do more of the things that I like rather than doing the things that are known to make money or the things that the public responds well to. Over the next 2 years, I'll be transitioning from my corporate entrepreneurial functions to living according to what I'm most passionate about. I still have my financial goals. However, I'm losing my ego-driven will to compete with the most recognized entrepreneurs in the world. I'll be restructuring or selling all of my companies. The companies that I'm likely to keep will be aligned with what I'm really passionate about, which is problem solving, fun real estate projects, and working with other entrepreneurs. Nothing changes here on the channel except me producing more of what I love. I'm trying to maneuver my life in a way that all I do is 100% what I'm passionate about. My next 2 years are going to be focused on getting me to my financial comfort zone, unloading my responsibilities that I don't care for, and living exactly as I want for the next 40 years. If you want to work with me or want to talk through your business ideas, contact me at info@entplife.com, or you could book an appointment with me right through my website. Thanks for joining me here on ENTP Life, and share this video with anyone you know that is struggling with the same. Until the next one, take care.